And Matt's on it. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another exciting test broadcast here from the AkronBuzz studios in the heart of West Akron in the Wallhaven neighborhood. You know, we have a very special guest on testing the Skype. We are on the Skype, right, Todd? Todd McKee, a friend from high school, and Todd has been in the television business. So, Todd, after what you've seen here today with Matt and Chris running the show here, what do you think of this?
Well, I saw the camera of them working on all the equipment, and they look amazing. It looks like they really know what they're doing. They must have an amazing teacher.
Matt, why don't you run around the corner and turn down the... we have a little monitor in the just around the corner. So I'll give you the backup story, the background story. You've heard the whole thing here. Of course, because of the state of the world and the current events, we do not have a... that's okay. We don't have a staff. Matt, you can leave that on. So I am teaching my son Matt, his best friend Chris, how to be television technicians. And there they are. Why don't you guys put up camera 5? There's Matt and Chris. So how are you doing there in Portland, Maine? Or give me the name of your town near Portland, Maine is actually...
We're in Falmouth, which is just north of Portland. And it's we're doing well. Luckily, our school planned very well on how to do virtual learning. The ironic part is once our kids got up and running starting last Wednesday with their teachers, today we had a snow day, believe it or not. A virtual snow day because a lot of people lost power and they had no access to the internet, including the teachers.
Unreal.
So, so it was a little interesting. But other than that, our kids have been doing a great job communicating back and forth with teachers. They get their assignments every day online and through an email. So it's all going pretty well.
And they're doing their homework. They're doing their school. It's not homework because they're schoolwork at home.
Right. Exactly. They're doing schoolwork. And it's a little bit of a transition trying to get them to stay. The first few days has been great. And then a little bit longer, it's been a little... hard to get them to stay in their seats and do their work. So, but that'll come and go depending on every day's workload.
Now, when you worked at ABC in New York and worked at Good Morning America, of course you remember that you were able to give us a tour and allow my son Matt to sit at the ABC Nightly News, the news desk. And Matt, you can Chris, turn Matt's mic on there. Do you remember going to New York City and going and touring ABC and Todd giving us a tour?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember that? Now would be the time, if we were really good, if we were really on it, we would bring up the picture of him at the ABC news desk. But
that was a long time ago, though. But
right now we're just right now we're just teaching them how to run the audio and the switcher. And I know you're impressed. I know that the 14-year-old and 15-year-old they took our jobs. They took our jobs. So getting back to the family. How's everybody doing there though? Everybody's good, and you're hunkered down. And what's the plan in Maine to endure to get through all of this craziness?
Really, we've been out only a couple times, but the nice part is we found a golf course near us that we can walk out with the dog and give the dog some exercise and give us some exercise and get outside, which has helped a lot. But other than that, we've had a couple times. We got together with some family once and stayed one family on one side of the fire and one on the other side. But other than that, we've been pretty good at just staying home, and luckily we've got nowhere to go, so I can work from home, and so that makes it very convenient.
Are you discovering, like I am, that a little bit of extra time with the kids is, this is not a good situation, but the silver lining here is you get a little extra time with the kids and the family, and everybody gets to just hang out at home. And it's March. The weather's not great, as you said. There's a snow day, a blizzard, or some sort of a weather event there that keeps canceled school, even though you were all at home anyway. But what do you think of this time? I'm enjoying this tremendously. Spending time with Matt and Chris, teaching them television production here. It's not a bad way.
Great. We've had a lot of wonderful family time. I think after we're done with this, it's going to be a movie night tonight. Been asked for the past couple nights to do a movie night, so I think that's going to be some popcorn and movie night together. But yeah, I feel like we're spending a lot of time together. The kids have been great at helping, even with chores and stuff. I think because they're getting more attention from us than they normally do, going to school all day.
Sure.
And going to bed.
All right, and on a technical note, since of course you're in the television business and the video production business, I appreciate you coming on for a variety of reasons. One of them is to help us test all this equipment, and maybe someday we'll be doing a live broadcast here in Akron all the time, and not just for a little family fun here in the studio. But did it improve the audio quality when you put the earbuds in? And those are Bluetooth to the laptop or something?
Yeah, so the Bluetooth to a Mac, that worked pretty well. I don't know if the audio is any better, but I figured it's probably a little better. The camera's a little, it's an older Mac, so the camera's not as great as the PC, the newer PC. But we'll, when this is all done, we'll try a few other things. We'll try an iPad and an iPhone and see how that goes.
That's what we're doing. We're trying a different configuration every night. We're putting in, I've discovered there are about 4 or 5 laptops over here that I have discovered that are completely worthless. And I don't even know how they're even in the production operations that we have go out and do these live streams for companies. It scares me to think that any of these laptops that are in here, I went through about 4 of them that don't work, or I can't make and let's be honest, it's probably operator error because all the really, no offense guys, but all the really smart technicians we have are, boy, I'm going to get myself in trouble with that. Well, let's, right. That you're onto something there. They are absolutely onto something. The really smart technicians are there's that. There is that. Well, thank you very much.
You need to do a gear time with your laptop.
I have all these laptops. I don't know how to make a single one of them work. So my goal tonight was to do this on Facebook and YouTube at the same time, and I have failed miserably, but I'm still having fun. And this is worth it for the fun. These two love when I get frustrated trying to make all this stuff work. They love it. Don't you guys? No? No. Okay. Well, thank you for participating in our fun and games. I would have loved a shot, if you were mobile to roam around the house and, show us, have everybody wave at us and all that stuff. But we'll do that on the next one.
We'll do that on the next broadcast.
We'll do that on the next broadcast. We'll have you back on tomorrow night or the next night, or we could be here for weeks.
I have nowhere to go.
I don't either. That's why we're doing this. We're having a blast. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and we are going to take a short break. And then what we do, of course, is we go in and we review the comments about the audio quality, both good and bad. I'm sure that people will have something to say about our audio quality. And then we'll start some troubleshooting. So thank you for joining us. And we're going to take a quick break, everyone. We'll be back. If you guys remember how to go to break, it was last night that we learned it. Let's see if they remember. Here we go. We'll be back right after this.
I can hear you. Wait, Dan, go again now that you're further away. Let me see. You're still sound like you're across the room.
That's probably the feed directly from this microphone.
Now you're sounding better.
Yeah, and then Chris, you remember how to control the feed to the laptop with the single lever control?
Yeah.
All right. Why don't you bring it down a little?
If I may add,
Wait.
I can hear him through the headphones now,
Yeah.
not through your mic.
That's okay. That's
Okay,
good.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
actually a good thing. That's the way it's supposed to work.
Can you drop the webcam audio? Or
You know what I can do? Yeah, that's what it is. It's this.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah,
13,
that's a lot
14.
better. Okay.
Well, I'm still hearing the echo in the room, so I'm probably not getting you direct mic.
This should be the direct mic right here.
Somewhere.
Hopefully.
Maybe from your computer.
I think it's from the computer, yeah.
Oh, you're still getting the audio from the computer. All right, give me 10 seconds. I can fix that.
Dan, I can fix it right here.
Oh, he's got this, Dan.
Okay,
He's good.
can you hear us?
Okay, now I don't hear anything.
Okay.
Here. Let me see.
Now I hear something.
Oh, your microphone muted?
I muted the microphone first.
Well, no, don't do that. What you want to do is go into the audio settings and then...
Switch it to a different mic from internal. Somewhere else.
He's connected to the earbuds.
But I don't think you have the output from your mic going into the laptop.
Here, put this on program.
Hmm?
Put this on program.
Put it on. 4.
Oh, when I plugged in the webcam, it switched it.
Okay, is it good now?
I'm thinking Skype capability is you're not able to.
Are you good now? Is it good now?
Go back to...
Wow, that's
Go back to
better.
That he said that's better.
Wait, I hear your mic really good.
Yeah,
Hold
Dan
on.
is not by his mic. He's going over
No,
his mic right now.
Right. Right. Matt, and who's the other? Who's on?
What?
Well, I think we're losing your internet connection.
No, I'm here.
Oh, good.
I hear.
Okay, when I plugged in the webcam to that laptop, it changed the audio input to apparently there's a microphone built into that webcam.
Right, so it thought you wanted that.
Well, now, how does this sound? Does it sound like it should be the audio from the lavalier?
It sounds great. Can you still hear me?
Yeah. Okay, I think we've got that worked out pretty nicely. Okay.
It glitched.
Got the
It's
on the
glitched.
board. That's
Yeah,
great.
there we go. It's good.
Okay. And then on your end, you're able to see the program monitor. I mean, it's probably
yes.
not the best view, but guys, put me on program there if you would, and bring up my mic, and let's, I guess we're going back on live. Here we go. I guess we were probably on live the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the job of the floor director to say, okay, you're on.
Well, I said it at the
So Todd, right now, when you're looking at the web, or when you're looking at your screen, you're seeing the program feed.
Yes.
Okay, guys, go to camera 5 there. So right now, obviously, you can see the control room and the kids waving at you. The young technicians, the young professionals.
Yes.
We're not calling them
Yes,
kids.
yes.
Okay, all right, very good.
They're being very professional, so yeah, you should call them that.
I got to tell you, I'm very impressed. They learned this fast. They have put up with my yelling and screaming when some of this stuff isn't working properly, and most important, they are having a lot of fun. They're having a lot of fun. Now they're actually working out. They're working out the hand signals pretty well. You know
Yeah, I see. Like
Yeah.
they're both directing, so that's working out.
there is a little bit of a power struggle here about who's really in control. I certainly know it's not me. So, all right. Well, anything else happening on your end, or should we
No, it's all good.
Okay.
You can, now that everyone's seen all the behind the scenes of AkronBuzz, we're good to go.
Well, thank you again for coming on and helping us tweak and test. You know, I just try to make one change, one tweak, and it throws off the whole thing. And it's like, I can't even remember to go back to how we had it before I make one tweak. So, okay. Thank you very much. This time we are officially going to take a break. And
Sign off again?
well, Chris is going to figure out how to go back to the graphic on this laptop. That's the hardest part. Now he's frustrated because he's like, what do I have to do? Chris, go to 5, take out the mics, roll us to music. We're going to break, and we will be back live with more right after we figure out.
try to keep me down, but I'll put the flame out. You can't get to me. Throw your sticks and your stones, go break all of my bones. You won't ache my soul, you can't get to me. And there is no barricade that I can tear away. Shoot me down, the fire away, away. But I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a
Hello everyone, we are back here in the AkronBuzz studio doing our live tests. Tonight we're on YouTube. Last night we were on Facebook. I had a grand plan to try to do YouTube and Facebook at the same time, and that failed miserably. But this next segment will be very successful because we have very special guests on FaceTime. So now we're going to experiment a little bit with the FaceTime connection. We really got it. It's really rudimentary. We really need to improve this, and we are working on it. But let's welcome to the program Chris's sisters. And don't you wish you were here in the studio with us?
I am sorry for it.
Well, we are sheltering in place in the studio.
Any actions they make, do not blame me.
Okay, that's Chris's disclaimer. He's not responsible for your actions. So we have Carly and Kyla here in the studio, well, on FaceTime in the studio. And we have to set this up properly because the most important guest here is Max. Maxwell, the dog. Why don't we get Max to do some sort of trick or entertain us? Everyone watching who's maybe they're stuck at home, maybe they're just hanging out with the family tonight, which is what we're all doing. What is Max going to do to entertain us tonight?
He's going to hit the wall.
Huh. So, I have a question. This question is for Matt and Chris, our technicians. Yeah, we're not using those effects. No, that's no. As you know, I'm teaching Matt and Chris television production, so they are learning how to produce TV here.
But
I need one of you to come over here and tell me how to fix this iPhone so that it doesn't have that other screen in the corner. How do you turn that off? We are going to take how do you turn that off?
We are going to take a momentarily break.
Do you know how to turn that off? I've never seen that. Or is that always there and I just never paid attention to it?
That's always there.
It is?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then we will continue. Well, no, don't go that way.
Camera off. There we go.
Well, then they can't see us.
That's what you wanted, right?
Well, no.
It says pause.
Oh, can you still hear us?
Yeah, we can't see you though.
Oh.
Is that what you
Well,
wanted?
let's just leave it for now because you don't need to see. Yeah. All right, so let's do a quick interview. Yeah, you can go back to camera 3, Matt. It's fine. That's fine. Why don't you tell us what you're doing to stay entertained? And the right answer is we are doing all our schoolwork.
Schoolwork, watching Netflix, sleeping, eating food.
Now, who's responsible for walking the dog? Is Max responsible for walking himself?
Yeah.
Do you ever just see Max walking around the yard with just a leash floating around? He just walks himself? Is that how this goes?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Who's responsible for cooking right now? And what are we having for dinner? I guess, well, hang on a second. It's 7:45. I hope we've already had dinner.
Nope.
What are you going to make?
Cereal. I'll probably make food.
Cereal. Carly, what are you going to make tonight?
Cereal. I have no clue. Maybe tuna casserole. Cereal.
So, let me understand this correctly. Then there's not a lot of meal planning going on here. You just kind of eat when you get hungry. Lazy. Is it fair to say that since nobody's going to do the dishes anyway, why bother making a big mess?
Christopher did the dishes today.
You're kidding. Let's cut to camera 5 here. Christopher, is this true? Did you do the dishes?
So the thing is, I was home to do dishes on my day, which I thought, which is apparently not true. So therefore, I had to do them again.
Oh, I see. Your day isn't normally Tuesday, but since you dropped by the house for a hot minute, they made you do the dishes.
Yes, my day is Fridays and Mondays.
All right. Carly, let me ask you then. So you have a clean kitchen now. Am I to understand that you don't want to do any cooking because you got a clean kitchen?
No, I just don't want to do cooking because my mother's asleep and it throws the schedule off.
I see. Are we going to wake her up by doing a live broadcast?
I already told her and she said we should just go ahead. She's sleeping.
She said, all right.
She's,
Okay. All right. And what is Kiara doing tonight?
FaceTiming her friends on her phone.
I understand. So what are we going to do to limit the screen time? We're going to go outside. When the weather's nice, you're going to go outside and jump on the trampoline, or are you going to go down to the park? What are you going to do?
I can't go. Our mom isn't letting us go anywhere.
The idea is stay at home because...
Stay in the yard and in our house. That's it.
Okay. So what can you do as a family with all of you together? Play board games? Go down in the basement and play the pool with the pool table or the air hockey? What's on the list of things you can do to entertain yourselves?
We go outside on the trampoline with each other a lot. No, we don't. Yeah, we do. No, we don't.
And
I can tell right now the dog would like to go outside. Max, you want to go outside? Is Max a little confused as to what's happening here?
Yes. Yes, he is.
I see. When was the last time Max ate
Lunch. Big boy.
lunch?
He has food in his bowl right now.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Well, I'm still not sure what you're going to do for entertainment during this time,
Go on my phone.
the phone.
I'm so grounded, so I don't have my phone.
Oh well, we don't have to talk about that. That's we won't discuss that. So.
Listen to music.
All right. Well, I think we've sufficiently tested the FaceTime with the phone. And do you like being interviewed on a TV kind of style broadcast?
Yeah.
You do? Are any of your friends watching right now?
I don't think so. No. I hope not.
You hope not. That's good. You two are very entertaining. And are you
I
sticking?
got more subscribers.
We got more subscribers now. Your ratings are through the roof now that you two have been on. So, are you going to keep up? You two get good grades. Are you going to keep up the good grades?
Yes.
Good. Is it harder to do the homework or the schoolwork at home?
Yes.
Why?
Because the teachers aren't teaching us it, and
Yeah,
I'm
and
not gonna watch
it's
a
harder.
15-minute
Yeah.
video of them talking.
You know, all of the teacher friends I have in my life have told me that they miss their students tremendously, and it is absolutely just heartbreaking for them that they can't be teaching their students in class.
Yeah,
What do they do on the
I'm
summer?
heartbroken. I can't see my teachers too.
I'm not.
That's very sweet.
I do not like one of my teachers, so I'm very happy I can't see you.
Oh, well, we can't say anything bad about anybody on television or on video Skype or any of that. That's not nice. All right, what's your parting words? What's your advice for other kids watching? Or give us ideas to stay entertained as we all hang out with family at home.
Eat fruit snacks.
Eat fruit snacks. That's great advice. Eat fruit
How about-
snacks.
Family game night or family movie night.
Okay. If you do family movie night, which movie would you like to watch?
The Conjuring.
Okay.
We just got dark.
Okay.
Any movie.
But they took it off Netflix, so Yes, they did.
No.
Yes, they did.
Whose Netflix account are we on over there?
Dave's.
Okay.
We use Dave's.
All right. That's the right answer. That's the right answer. Okay, we're going to let you go. We're going to take a short break. Matt and Chris have gotten really good at running the switcher and the audio. So right now, you can't see it because they're in the room, control room behind you. But there's a control room, and Matt and Chris are at the helm, and we are teaching them television production. And they're taking turns. Right now, Chris is running audio, and Matt is changing between all the cameras, and they are doing a phenomenal job. So for us, this is family time, entertainment time, and a little bit of learning. I'm learning how to make a live broadcast work, and I'm not doing a good job, but still, we're having fun. So, all right, I think I stalled and gave you enough time, Chris, that you got everything queued up. Thank you, Kyla, Carly, for joining us tonight and entertaining our audience. We'll see you. And we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back right after this.
All right.
that's made of all that we find. Test the waters, oh, it's hard. I think we're getting close. Racing through the waves, I want to be where nobody knows. Take me, baby, take me to a state of mind that's made up, baby, that's made.
Well, I'm already on. Bring the mics up. Here we go. Hello, everyone. We are live back here in the AkronBuzz studio and having a great time. This is truly family time tonight. We have right here two very special guests, and so they shall remain nameless. Let's cut to the Skype. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
All right. What's happening tonight? What are you doing to stay entertained when you have to do all your schoolwork at home?
Well, we've been reading a lot.
Well, that's good. Now, is that a change from normal, or do you read a lot anyway?
I think I've been reading more than usual.
More than usual. All right. So, are you two enjoying all of this extra time that you get to spend together?
Yes.
And how long do you suppose that's going to last?
2 more days. A day.
Yeah. About a day? Okay. All right. Wow. So what advice would you have for all of your classmates that are at home doing schoolwork and they're spending extra time with their siblings? What advice do you give them to get through the day?
Doing a lot of golf.
Oh, really? So your at-home school program has an extracurricular activity called golf.
Yeah.
Do you hit golf balls in the backyard?
Yeah.
All right. And do you have a flag set up in the backyard that has the yardage, and do you have it marked? And are you able to hit further than your dad?
Yes, with a driver, yes, but not with.
You think there should be a driving range there at your house?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Well, what would be the problem? What's one potential problem you'd have with a driving range at your house? What could be a problem?
Take up too much space.
You need a lot of real estate. Okay. Does anyone have a good story or a good joke? Anyone have anything you want to entertain the audience with? Maybe a good story? No?
Yeah. Well, a couple days ago, we went on a hike in our backyard's forest, and our dog took after a deer. And as we were looking for her, and when we finally found her, on our way back, we saw a coyote, a huge coyote in a fence. It was almost as big as the dog. We had to get out of there as quick as possible because that was a really big coyote.
Now, you're very lucky to have these kinds of experiences. Not everybody. Some people are just staying in their house, but you get to go out in the woods and watch the dog chase the coyote. So, what other activities do you have planned if it rains?
you can do crafts and go in your basement and stuff. We made mosaics.
These are great. Those are absolutely fantastic. All right, tell the audience the process for creating the mosaics. How does this come together? How do you start? What materials do you use? Give us a little craft lesson here.
You can just take a piece of paper and colored piece of paper, cut them out into like squares or any type like circles or triangles, and you can use glue and glue them on the paper to make what in a pattern like with different colors around and around, and it's with you can just put it on with glue. It's really easy.
That's awesome.
Or you could see.
Now, when school starts back up again, can you take those into school and get extra credit in art class?
Probably, because we're learning about an artist in class who did things like this.
Well, okay, and are you going to be able to get all of your work done and maintain good grades? And I know that both of you are straight A students. Is that right?
Yes, sort of. Only in handwriting. I only get B pluses and higher. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, very good. Hang on a second. Hang on. We have that's the colleges are calling. Yes. Okay, so we're going to tell you a quick story. We're going to cut over to camera 5. So for us to stay entertained, me and Matt and Chris are here in our TV studio. And can you see Matt and Chris waving at you?
Hi.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Hey guys.
So this is how we are staying entertained, is we have all of this TV production equipment, so we are hanging out. Matt and Chris have learned how to be television technicians. And so Matt's running the board that switches between all these cameras, and Chris runs the sound.
Cool.
Yeah. So Matt wants to tell a little story about something that happened last night when we were here working, and something happened.
Okay, so
Is his mic on?
yeah, it is. So basically, what happened last night was that we were about to go live, but then I was out in the hall because I don't know why, but I came running in and I told my dad that it smelled like fire, like out in the hall, and everyone literally ran out into the hall, and sure enough, it smelled like fire, and so my dad had to call the fire department.
So we called the fire department, and they brought over 6 fire engines.
But
Yep.
here's the thing.
But the building wasn't actually on fire, but there was a heater that was having a problem, so it smelled like fire. But so everybody's safe. Now, when Matt told that story, could you hear him?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, wonderful. That means that Chris is doing a great job on audio. Way to go, Chris.
Thank you.
Matt, you did a
Fortunately-
phenomenal job telling a story. Chris, you did a great job turning on his microphone.
Fortunately, we knew one of the firemen. We knew one of them.
We knew, one of the firemen was a fireman that comes to their school and visits them.
No.
Okay.
Yes,
Well, let's go
his
back
son
to
goes
our
to school.
special guests. There you go. So, any other advice, any final thoughts before we say goodnight? And it's time for bed, isn't it?
No, not really.
Are you sure? Hang on a second. Let me check the TV studio clock. Oh yeah, it says bedtime. Huh. So, I'm judging by your reaction that it's not bedtime.
No.
So, just so I understand this correctly, how it works at your house, what do you think is bedtime?
9 o'clock. 8-ish.
8-ish, 9
I would
o'clock.
say like 8:30.
Okay. Now, in the morning, are you still getting up in the morning on time like you would during a regular school day?
No, I'm starting to sleep in till 7, and I usually wake up at 5.
Let's cut to
Yes.
camera 5 here so we can see this reaction. What would you two think of getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning? They don't get up at 7 o'clock in the morning on a school day, and the school bus comes at 7:30.
That's impossible.
These two,
It was impossible.
you know what they do?
Stay
They
up till
like to roll
2:30.
out of bed at 7:25 and literally roll right down to the bus stop. Matt, you got to be on it with the switcher.
I know.
See if I'm doing that. See, there you go. We're teaching television production. So now I have one final question for our special guests. Did you have fun being on our program?
Yes.
Would you do it again?
Yes.
Okay. So if I asked you to do a musical performance, what instrument would you play?
In a few weeks, I would have said ukulele, but today I would have said piano.
Wow.
I do drums.
You're gonna do drums? Can we set this up so that you're on the ukulele and you're on the drums at the same time? I have to hear how this would go. I suspect it would be awesome. I think it would be great. All right, you two are great. Thank you for coming on our show and entertaining our audience and also helping us figure out how all of this live stream equipment works, because it's a technical challenge, but we're having a great time. So we're going to cut back to you one more time. What?
Thank you for having us.
Oh, absolutely. We'll cut back. All right, wave goodbye to everybody. Say good night and say everybody go to bed.
Go to bed. I won't go to bed.
All right, good night. Yes, thank you for joining us. There you go. All right, Matt and Chris, you know how to take us to break, of course. We're going to take a short break and come back with more here on AkronBuzz, live from the West Akron studio, right after this. Pause it.
As long as the world is turning, I'll be by your side. We'll keep the fire burning. I'll never see you hurt. You know I can't explain it in a way of words. We both know that you'll understand. dreams among the stars while I'm standing on the pavement. Spinning around, lost and found, just trying to make a statement. Lift the weight off my shoulders and set me free. Let the birds in the sky is where I'd like to be. Without gravity to hold us down, together we'll lose sight of the ground. I place my dreams among the stars while I'm standing on the pavement. Spinning around, lost and found, just trying to make a statement. Lift the weight off my shoulders and set me free. Let the birds in the sky is where I'd like to be. Without gravity to hold us down, together we'll lose sight of the ground.
welcome back to AkronBuzz. And we are having a really great time. And what this mission is all about tonight, and all of the evenings we've been spending time here broadcasting live, it's about testing all of this equipment and demonstrating our capabilities and figuring out how the Skype and the FaceTime work. The most important component is that how does the person calling in see us in the studio, and how does all of the equipment work? And we have an additional challenge because we were doing this as a family activity with my son, Matt, his best friend, Chris, who are, if we switch to camera 5, and they're getting very good at actually taking direction from the person who is hosting the show. So Matt, go to camera 5, and again, we will show you the control room. And very impressive how quickly my son and his best friend, who are in the 8th grade at Copley Fairlawn Middle School, let's bring up a graphic just to demonstrate. Matt, why don't you bring up a graphic? See, we can go to the live graphic full screen. We can bring in the lower third. They know how to go to break. They know how to run audio. They know how to switch. They know how to turn that off and come back to camera 2. Very good. That's pretty good. This is stuff I did in my college days. And the AkronBuzz program started as our company's intern program. And probably 10 or 12 years ago or so, we had students from Kent State or the University of Akron or other local colleges would come into our studio, and we would give them cameras and send them out around Akron, and they would add to their portfolio. They would add to their video production reel. So what happened in that era, would that probably have been 2006 or 07 or 08, in that era, we realized that these young professionals, these college students, at the beginning of their career and excited about using the cameras that we had and running around Akron and producing feature stories and news stories and all of that, we discovered that they were creating some content with real value. And so, of course, there's a void in Akron where we don't have a local news station, and certainly what we're doing here is not going to fill that void. But could we someday, perhaps, come on live and do local television that serves the community? And could we do that while at the same time allowing college students and young professionals, and perhaps even my son and his best friend, have the opportunity to learn television production? And that's what this is all about. The side benefit, of course, here is that while we are instructed to stay in, we can spend a little time together here in the TV studio having fun. So that's the story behind what we're up to here in Wallhaven, in West Akron, in the AkronBuzz studio. And it's amazing. It's just amazing how you guys are doing a phenomenal job. So with that, we are going to practice taking a break. And Chris has asked me as I do that, oh, there we go. We went to break, but my mic is still on. So why don't we go back? We're going to try it again. We're going to go back. I'll deliver the speech, and then I'll give you the cue again. So back to camera 2, Matt. Kill that. There. Are you ready? And so here we go. So once again, we're going to practice going to break. And of course, my cue that I always give is there's more to come. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a minute.
That was a little rough.
Can you hear us?
Yes, we can.
All right, I think we got it. All right, so is this, well, we'll engineer it when it's over.
Can you see us?
Yeah, we see you there?
Is it too dark, or, because if there?
It's perfect. It is absolutely perfect. We are back on AkronBuzz, and I honestly am not sure how this connection is happening. As we continue our week of testing all of the live stream and Skype and FaceTime technology here in the West Akron studio, and we're having a great time doing it. And we have special guests here joining us by Skype, and I'm not sure how we're connected, but somehow we all pushed all the right buttons at the same time, and here we are with Tim Doherty and Sue Wilson. Say hello. There we are.
Hey, how are you?
So give us the Highland Square report. What's happening in West Akron tonight? What are we doing to stay entertained? And there we go. Chris, can you bring that full screen so that the other calls are off? Do you know how the Skype works there on that? How do you do that? How do you make that? We're still trying to figure out how all of this works. In the meantime, how are you guys doing tonight?
We're good. Somebody just took a snapshot. Is that you guys? Or
That is us trying to figure out how to make the Skype full screen. So are we talking to you, Tim, on your phone?
Yes.
Okay, so somehow you were able to call us, or did we call you?
I'm not certain we know.
I think we called you,
Okay.
Maybe we made a phone call to you.
and
All
there's
right.
a little delay, like when I say something on the screen, it's a little delayed, it's not instantaneous.
You get a little reverb back to you, or a bounce back, like a.
There's a slight lag, slight
lag.
delay.
Okay, all right.
Like I say a word and then it shows up on the screen, I don't know.
Well, we'll figure it out.
10 seconds later?
And the good thing is for me is that the tiny little picture that shows Sue and I on this Skype is covering my face, and that's not bad.
Oh, that's great. There you go. So, all right. So, what are we going to do to stay entertained? We obviously are going to hang out in the TV studio all night and entertain ourselves by randomly Skyping and calling and annoying everyone. But what are you two going to do to stay entertained and stay sane?
Tim, why don't we show them what we're in the
I
middle
was
of
going to
right
say,
now?
let me turn this around if you can see this.
Chris, you got to make that stuff on the left-hand side of the screen go away.
Are you guys picturing what Sue's been up to for the
I
last couple
see
of
it.
hours?
We are working on a puzzle.
Yes.
So I went to Walgreens because that's one of the few places you're allowed to go still.
Right.
The pharmacy and the wine store and the grocery store. Anyway, so I found the very last puzzle on the shelf, and it was a box of 6 puzzles, 2 200-piece, 2 400-piece, and 2 500-piece or
Yeah.
600-piece. Anyway, I started with the 200-piece, and I'm about an hour and a half into it.
Easily. It's nearly complete. And the fact that there was no other puzzles on the shelf says that people must be buying puzzles during the coronavirus lockdown.
So this is.
So yeah, we've been doing that. We've been listening to a ton of music, and I have my USA Today article up, which is 100 things to do during the
Chris, switch back to
coronavirus and the lockdown. We're checking them off.
So to do the math, well now Chris, you got to switch again. I'm teaching Matt and Chris television production and directing from the set here. In fact, let's do a challenge. Chris, do you think you can bring on that live graphic that says, not the one that says we'll be right back, but the one that says AkronBuzz live interviews? Can you bring it on? Let's see. Look at this.
Well,
My 8th graders are running the technical in the studio. They're doing a phenomenal job, frankly. But getting back to the puzzle, yeah, this is schooling. This is an evening internship, is what it is.
In 15 years, they'll be thanking you at the Academy Awards.
Yes, or at the Ohio Center for Media, which would be great.
You need a split screen with
Go
us
back.
up there.
Go
in
back
that
to them. That's it.
AkronBuzz thing.
Well, yeah.
well, Matt won't.
Chris, if you're going to talk, you have to bring your mic on. No, but
Well,
they actually at times argue and fight over who's going to do what job. It's kind of fun. Switch back. It's okay. So just to do the math on the puzzles, though, what you bought yourself there was, 2 hours gets you halfway through a 200-piece puzzle. So then,
I know.
so that's a 4-hour puzzle. The math isn't good here, is it? Because then the 400-piece puzzle, is that 4 hours? Is it an hour per 100 pieces?
I think it's going to be an entire work week to do all of them.
And several bottles of wine, which might make it more difficult to.
Yeah.
No, but we've gotten other things done too. We've been doing. Tim goes to work and for a little bit and does his radio show.
Oh, enter full screen. There you go, right there. Sorry.
And then he comes home, and then, like yesterday, we cleaned the whole house, but it's a very small house, so we got it done in like an hour.
We cleaned out all the germs. We've been taking our dog on many walks. Would you like to see our pets?
I would love to. Isn't that the very reason we like going to the cell phone rather than the laptop? Is you can give us a tour, and we could see how everybody in the house is doing.
All right. Well, let me turn the phone around, and I will show you where our pets are.
I would.
Can you see that large black lump laying right here?
Look at that. Matt turned the graphic off so we could see they're good. They're good. They're on the switcher. They're on it. Hey, Scooby.
There's Scooby.
Hey,
Scooby.
Scooby.
And I'm going to walk toward our back door and show you our latest addition. This is Brady the cat. Oh, now he's going to run.
No, Orange Cat is running away. Okay, we got Orange Cat. Now, at least Orange Cat is indoors.
Probably can't see him under the table.
Now, does the Orange Cat still go outside?
He does.
Yeah, he was waiting at the door.
And the best news is I think he does his business in our neighbor's backyard.
No, I know. He has to stop that. Because when we first got him, he was hiding out next door, and our neighbor was gone for the winter, and now our neighbor's back, and so he's going in the litter box. We're litter box training him.
Yeah.
But he does both. He goes in, he goes
great.
out. He's a great cat.
This is great. Well, and overall, you can hear us pretty well. You can tell this is the audio from the lavalier mic coming through to your feed. So
Very
Yeah,
well.
we can hear you well.
Okay, wonderful.
But there is a delay.
Yeah, there is this. Yeah, we're trying to figure out how to overcome this problem. Now, when we cut to this camera here, can you see this shot in the return video feed?
Yeah, we see you, and actually, we don't see a delay. Matter of fact, I'm not noticing a delay right now on us either.
Yeah, but when it goes to just us, like we say something and then like 10 seconds later we see it on the screen.
Oh, when there's a delay because
delay.
that you're seeing the return feed of you on the program monitor. That would be a delay. I get it. I know exactly what. Yep. Right, because it's going through the whole system and out and around and then back to you through that monitor, through a webcam and back to Skype and everything else. So, all right.
Well, gotta go face. Yeah. We have to be patient.
See? Could you imagine if we were to do a program live every night? Imagine, talking for several hours. That'd be crazy.
Yep.
Who would do that?
Well, the news people were doing it tonight, and we were what is it? Sarah Shookman?
Yeah, Sarah Shookman's from her house, I think, in Green.
Yeah, so she's broadcasting from her house because she's pregnant and she's being very safe, and her co-anchor is back at the.
Russ Mitchell is in the studio.
Yeah, they were having a little bit of delays and weirdness they were kind of stepping on each other.
Everybody's at home.
Yeah. But pretty good. It was once they got the hang of it.
Right. Well, and Betsy Kling is she's doing the weather off at but she's over at the weather area. And then on Fox 8, they have the news desk kind of like in this room, but they are on complete opposite ends of the news desk.
Everyone is 16 feet apart.
It's supposed to be 6 feet, but now it's 16.
They are probably 16 feet apart. Well, this is a lot of fun, yeah. And I was watching, and they're doing all these Skype calls. And as you were saying, even on CBS News, the national, the network, out of New York is doing. They're Skype interviewing everyone, and I thought, well, let's try that here on AkronBuzz.
Yeah, Savannah's home. We watch Savannah every morning.
Oh, I see.
We like her.
Yeah.
I've done something to my phone, and now we are on a split screen with ourselves, and I'm trying to get out of that.
Well, we can't figure out how on our end. We have all the other calls we made tonight on the left-hand side of the screen. We have no idea how to get rid of those. let's go to Chris. Now, Chris, if you're going to talk, the rule is if you're going to talk on camera,
Yeah.
you have to bring your mic up.
Well, my microphone's up.
So we have Chris on sound. We have Matt on the switcher. Wave to the, there they are. Okay.
If
They're doing a
you
great job.
go down to the bottom next to where it's a heart emoji, and then it will say split screen. It's like 2 cubes.
I see.
If you click that, it should fix it.
We can't figure it out. Well, we'll figure it out later. We are having a lot of fun testing and
Ooh, we're taking all kinds of snapshots.
you're taking selfies as we broadcast. This is a great time. This is a lot of fun.
Take one of that. Now we can see Dan. This is a good one because it's a split screen of you and us.
Okay, big smiles, Dan. Ready?
All right, we'll be posting that
I love
to
it.
our social media.
All right. So as we wrap up, give us advice you have for all of us here in Akron. How do we keep ourselves entertained? We got puzzles. We got wine. Maybe what's the takeout? What's on the takeout menu if you're going to go out and do takeout food?
We're also letting sleeping dogs lie right now.
No,
Yes.
you know what I'm thinking? We are always sitting here going, oh my gosh, I wish I had time for this, and I wish I had time for that. Now we have 2 weeks where we're being told to stay home and relax and enjoy ourselves, and we're all complaining. So we need to kind of consider this as a reset, chance to kind of take a vacation at home, a staycation. It's all in how you look at it. I am going a little crazy, though. Come on.
It would be nice if the weather was just a little bit warmer outside. 'Cause
Yeah.
We want to get outside and take the fresh air, which we're
Allowed to
recommended
do.
to do and allowed to do, but it's just been a little bit too chilly.
But USA Today has this really cool article called 100 Things to Do When You're Stuck Inside, and it's really fun. So we've been kind of looking over at some of those ideas. So
Well,
You
we
can
should
Google that.
link to that article.
yep, we can.
And you've been teaching 2 young men how to do the business that it's your lifestyle.
Well, do you
So
remember
now
the?
I bet they'll end up in some form of media, and who knows what it's going to be like by the time they're 21 and 22 and out there getting jobs.
I can just imagine. I guess I can't imagine. It would be pretty wild, I'm sure. But yeah, I'd say they have a bright future no matter what they're doing, but I would certainly love it if they got into the TV business. So yeah, on my list of things to do that I never got around to was rigging up all this equipment to do live stream tests if we wanted to do interview shows where we had guests. So this was on my list of something to do, and so here we are. So, well, thank you for taking the time to help us advance this cause and test all this gear and make all this work. So,
Glad we could help.
yeah, appreciate it. And I think we are probably...
From the Highland Square area, Akron, Ohio.
We're going to uncork another bottle in a second, so you're welcome to attend.
I'll be right over. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and thank you for watching. We're going to take a short break, and Chris has told me numerous times when I go to break, he needs at least a couple of seconds to queue up everything and make it all happen. So I think I've done that now. We are going to take a break. We're going to come back for a final wrap-up of this exciting live stream broadcast test here from AkronBuzz. We'll be right back. We are back here at AkronBuzz, and I have had a great time putting on a little test broadcast, and we sure appreciate those who have tuned in. Thank you for enduring our technical glitches, the sound problems, the delays, both the delay in the video feed and the delay in starting the broadcast, and for sticking with us. This is family time for us. As I've already said, we are having a great time with our incredibly talented technical crew, Matt on the switcher tonight, and Chris on sound. And what a learning experience. They are getting really good at putting up the graphics and switching the cameras and keeping all the mics going. And just imagine if we had a bunch of high-tech gear, I'm sure they would be able to figure out in a second. I don't have any doubt. So thank you guys. You have done a phenomenal job on technical again. And I don't advise skipping college and going directly into video production, but I feel like if that's what they wanted to do, they could probably pull it off. So thank you so much for watching our test broadcast tonight. This is how we are keeping ourselves sane, entertained, and occupied, and we plan on coming in here every weeknight. Maybe not Friday night or Saturday night. Maybe we'll find something else to do, but at least Monday through Thursday, we're going to come in here and go around the world Skyping and calling and harassing everyone with technology. So our goal for tomorrow night will be to broadcast on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So they are giving me the high sign that it is time to wrap it up. I think it's because they want Taco Bell, which here at AkronBuzz is how you're paid. Thank you for watching, and as always, we'll see you on the next one.
Don't tell me that I need saving.